Okay, this is my clearing process. I wanted to separate those two videos because I really feel like we really need to focus on tending to our temple. Just focus on tend to the temple, just tend to the self. It was 6 minutes and 9 seconds. 6 and 9, I'm telling you, it's the number of the God in us. We are calling forth the God, the goddess, because we are God and goddess. We are sun and moon. We are yin and yang. We are the entire balance of us, an entire universe. So we need to tend to the temple and really focus on that. See the 6 and the 9. See the balance of ourselves. Connect to who we are. Remember that we are born of God and goddess, so we are God and goddess. We are born of the sun and the moon, so we are sun and moon. We are our balance, our love, our peace. My clearing process began when I was 20 years old. I had been invited to a sister circle and was started by an older friend of mine. A group of about 10 women congregated weekly over the course of a summer to discuss our experiences of womanhood. One weekend, my friend had contacted a healer who specialized in womb saunas, also known as vaginal steaming. All this new age woo-woo stuff was foreign to me at this point, but it sounded intriguing and I was on board for any time I got to spend with my sister circle. Before beginning the process, I answered a few survey questions about my background, health, and sexual experiences. The healer met us at my friend's home on the day of and conducted the womb saunas in my friend's bedroom. Depending on our individual experiences and needs, a blend of herbs was crafted and placed in boiling water. The basin of hot water and herbs was placed underneath a chair with a hole in the seat. We were instructed to get completely naked and sit on the seat. Then we were wrapped in a thick cape to keep the steam in while also keeping us warm and covered. Next, the healer gave us crystals to hold in each hand depending on the attributes she felt we needed. This healer was also psychic, and as we sat through our steaming, we discussed various life events that affected our relationships with our pussies. It was here that I first spoke of my sexual abuse out loud to another person. I was able to process the complicated emotions I had around being violated and my response to my trauma by engaging sexually with anyone who would have me. Through this process, the healer stated that the natural state of my pussy, she used the term womb, was one of joy. She also told me that my experiences would prepare me to be someone who worked on behalf of women and sexuality. The exact term she used was sex goddess, which was absurd to me at the time. She gave us individual homework following our steam. My assignment was to write down every single sexual encounter that I had ever had as far back as I could remember. By identifying these experiences, I could begin to process and release them. This was not a quick and dirty process. It took me months of listing names I could remember, leaving the list alone for a while, coming back to it when another name and experience came to mind. The more I allowed these experiences to be remembered, the more they seemed to come. Once I felt like I had finally finished the list, it was longer than I thought it should be for only 20 years of life. I spent some time sitting with the emotions that came up from listing and reviewing every sexual experience I had ever had up to that point. Mostly I felt anger and shame. Anger at being violated, shame for willingly sharing my body with so many who did not treasure it the way it deserved to be treasured. It was almost as if my pussy knew that I was trying to heal my relationship with her. Like magic, I was suddenly led to books and people that would play major parts in helping me to understand the way my traumas manifested in my body and in my life. From there, I was able to do the work it took to heal it once and for all. I realized that I was diagnosed PCOS and began rapidly gaining weight around the same time that I began repressing my abuse and having indiscriminate sex. I also realized that up to that point, I had never been given an orgasm from these sexual encounters, no matter how hard I tried to concentrate and make it happen. I knew that I had to process and heal emotionally and spiritually before I could heal physically. Again, the process was not a quick one. Instead, it took numerous years repeating the mistakes and greatly humbling moments for me to fully understand how to embrace my truest self and my natural power. First steps. There are a number of ways for you to begin your own clearing process and begin healing on every level. The first step is determine how to connect with your pussy. Here's a ritual that you can try.